Manchester United taking on Burnley. Now, we've got a horrendous record at Old Trafford against Burnley in recent times, losing their last time out 2-0, and after that game Manchester United looked like a team that was in disarray under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Manchester United have come a long way since then. But Manchester United have got to go into this game in confident mood. We're playing a bit better in the last few games in terms of results anyway, and we scored a few more goals recently than we had done in the previous few games. It was only like the odd one, but the last Premier League game was 3 goals, and we still managed to put the ball in the back of the net. Okay, one was an own goal, 2 goals in the week, and before that Brighton 2 goals as well. So the goals are gradually going back up a little bit. We've got to keep that up and score a few more goals than we have been of late anyway. Still got to add to that. I want to see a big 4 or 5-0 come around the corner soon, and it could well do. Burnley lost last time out against Newcastle. They're not the best of sides, but we know what can happen. They've got the likes of Chris Wood, and players like that can cause Manchester United problems. We've seen that in the previous games against them. But since we lost 2-0 that time to Burnley at Old Trafford, a lot has changed. Players like Juan Mata were getting regular game time. Andreas Pereira was featuring in that game. I think even the likes of Phil Jones were featuring in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And the bench, okay, Mason Greenwood was on the bench. Anthony Martial was starting up front. I think there was no Marcus Rashford. So the team is a lot better now. You're looking at the likes of Bruno Fernandes coming into the team and people like that have improved Manchester United massively. Obviously Mason Greenwood's now in the team, Cavani's in there, Rashford's would be in the team over that game. So there is a lot of difference between the team since we had that horrendous defeat. Better personnel has definitely come into this Manchester United team and made Manchester United better, has improved Manchester United, and that is a big massive step forward. Yes, maybe the manager's doing things differently maybe now a little bit, but at the end of the day, personnel is a massive fucking factor in whether Manchester United are going to get better or not. If you don't get better fucking players in, then you're not going to win multiple games. It's as simple as that. You know, the manager can only do so much. You look at Man City, Pep Guardiola's gone out and spent fucking millions and millions on players. Yes, he's a top quality manager, we don't underestimate that, but to get to where he wanted to go to winning the league, he went out and spent millions and millions. First season third, then got better with bringing better players in, and Manchester United have done that since we last lost to Burnley 2-0 at Old Trafford. So going into this game, I expect a different game from Manchester United, a confident Manchester United going into this game. Yes, our home form against Burnley hasn't been great, but we're still a lot better team than Burnley, and I expect Manchester United to go into this game and attack Burnley, score goals, and look to get on the front foot. We know what Burnley are going to do. They're going to sit back, probably set pieces, going to look to get the wins from free kicks, and that a lot of teams do that against Manchester United. Put that low block up, and Manchester United have got to break it down. And yes, a lot of people are complaining that Manchester United have been shit at breaking down the low block. Well, we're actually scoring goals in most games. When we've been losing games of football, when maybe Manchester United have been peppering a team and they've scored against the run of play, Manchester United have more often than not this season come back to win games of football. So we're still breaking these teams down eventually. We're not losing a lot of games of football, and I still think we're in good stead for this season. We're not going to obviously win the Premier League now, but to close the gap on Man City in this game of football would be massive for Manchester United, and we've still got a Europa League semi-final to come, so it's positivity. But I do think there will be a few changes to the lineup for this game. You've got to expect that. But I would expect it to be a fairly strong team, still similar to that team he put out in the midweek against Granada, because that was still a very strong lineup for Manchester United. And I would have liked to have seen him rotate a bit more, because okay, we've got no midweek game for the first time in God knows how fucking long, which is a fucking relief for Manchester United. We can then rest up and recuperate before that Leeds game. But I still wish he'd put out a slightly weaker team, but we will have to wait and see. I don't think he's going to weaken the team too much between now and the end of the season, because we could theoretically still win the Premier League. It's not going to happen, but all the while that the Premier League is still open to win, he's going to go with a strong lineup, because at the end of the day, I mean, it will take pigs flying for Manchester United to fucking win this league. But if Man City did lose 3 or 4 games and Manchester United also fucked up against some shit team like Burnley, it would be an absolute kick in the bollocks. It really would. So we know what happened that year when Manchester United lost it on goal difference. We fucking threw it away and no one thought we would then. Bookies were even paying out on Manchester United winning the league that year. That was how confident people were that Manchester United were going to win the league. We're not going to win the league, but we still want to go out there, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to get closer to Man City. So he's not going to rotate the squad in this, even though in the next couple of weeks we've got some big semi-finals to come against Roma. He will still put out strong teams in the league. Now, De Gea will be back on the substitutes bench. It's going to be Henderson back in goal. Got no problem there. The back four pretty much picks itself. Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka picks itself. Manchester United. It's going to be back to Scott McTominay and I mean, probably Fred in there, but I would go with McTominay and Pogba in there. I think that is the best two midfielders for Manchester United. I'm still not a massive fan of Fred for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes in the number 10, Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Cavani up front. Rashford's got to be back for this game. Was rested in the week. I expect him to fully come back into the team for this one. He's very important to Manchester United, even though he's had a bit of a shit season for Manchester United in terms of his overall play. Got to be in the starting lineup when fit, because his goal and assist record is very good this season still. Even when he's had a shit season, it's still been up there with a lot of good players in and around Europe. So he's got to be in there. Hopefully Greenwood continue his good goal scoring form. Recently he was a bit under par against Granada, but hopefully in the league he's been quite good recently, so hopefully he can continue that, along with Cavani being the... I think Cavani and Greenwood are probably the two standout players for this game for me, the two crucial players for Manchester United, along with Paul Pogba as well. They're the three key players for Manchester United if they are to win this game of football, because Bruno Fernandes has been a bit off lately, and it's great to see that Cavani, Greenwood and Pogba have all stepped really up to the plate. Pogba's been good, very good recently, and hopefully he can continue that in this game. But I do expect Manchester United to go through and score some goals in this game and get the job done and get the 3 points. I would expect that. The likes of Wood and I'm not... I mean, they're alright players that Burnley have got, but they're not doing that great this season. They've always relied, in past seasons when they've had good seasons and got in the Europa League qualifiers one year, they relied on a solid defence to keep them afloat up nearer the top half of the table, and they're not a team that's going to go out there and score lots of goals. Obviously set pieces, as I said, will probably be key for them to try and get goals for Burnley, and they're going to put that low block on and just try and get and nick a 1-0 or something in this game, and I think it's going to be very difficult for them. But I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-0. I think Manchester United will have a bit too much quality in the final third for me. I think it might take a bit of time for Manchester United to break this team down, and in the second half, if Manchester United are struggling in this game, we've still got the pace of Dan James that I think could be valuable to bring on the substitutes bench. He has had an injury problem last weekend, but he did come back into the fold for the midweek game from the substitutes bench. Hopefully we can see a bit more of Ahmad if Manchester United can get comfortably leading this game, because he's a player that I would like to see feature more, because I don't know what more he's got to do in order to get on the pitch, to be honest, because Manchester United have spent big money on him, and I know he's a young player, but if you're putting a lot of players in ahead of him, and if we bring a right winger in the summer, he's going to fall further down the pecking order, and we need to see more of what he can do. He's been touted as a future contender for a Ballon d'Or by some people that have seen him in youth football and that, and it baffles me that if he is that good, why isn't he getting more game time for Manchester United, just coming off the bench 20 minutes before the end? I don't understand if he is touted as that good, but I'm not really sure if he is that great. We will have to wait and see. I want to see more of him play before I actually do my judgments, because I've seen him play for the under-23s and he looked levels above them, but you can't really, for a £30-odd million signing, you're going to expect him to be the best player in the under-23 league by a country mile. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Maybe we could rotate and rest a couple if we're 2 or 3-0 up, but we've got a week's rest now before the next game, so it's not too much of a problem. Let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section below. Do hit the like button if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also hit the share button on Facebook. It really does help us out, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.